it was going to be a good sell. Anybody on board? Who's on board the short? You should have been selling into that candle as it drove higher there, guys. See it? There's the candle driving higher. What is you going to do? What are you going to do? We traded this last night. As soon as that candle finishes, if you're trying to get some technical structure to it, what are you going to do? You're going to put a sell order above that price. So you're going to start selling that part of the trade, aren't you? That point. Selling into that part of the trade right there. And how did that trade work out? Pretty good, if you ask me. Pretty good. Now Erebus doesn't like it. As soon as the sell came in, Erebus went bullish. So that's horrible now, isn't it? So we're obviously going to be watching this downtick here. We're going to use that as an opportunity to distribute some of our business. Are we going to buy it? No, because we want to try and trade in line still with the specs. We're not dismissing the specs, guys. But we've got to be aware of the fact that the Erebus just doesn't agree with this. So what we're going to do is we're taking our profits when we reach down into the bottom edge now. See how that's starting to improve our overall narrative? You know, we can see that the specs are very bearish. We can see the quality spread is very bearish. I would rather be selling it, thank you very much. But when Erebus has got no intention of selling it, unless we get those higher prints, I've got to respect that because obviously it's my baby. And I've got to try and figure out, well, which one's going to win the day here? Is Erebus doing better than the other ones? Well, on the looks of it, absolutely. By a very sizable majority, Erebus is beating even the specs line. So when we get a higher price and Erebus is starting to diverge a little bit, we can take a swing at some business with the big picture here. But Erebus must not be making higher highs, or we're in real serious trouble. You know, if Erebus is making higher highs, we cannot sell into that very bearish storyline. Otherwise, we can sell into it. We can still keep working that sell for a bigger picture narrative, which is definitely bearish, but there's a problem with this trade. So we obviously have to make sure that we do book aggressive profits on downticks. We've got to be keen to book aggressive profits when we get an opportunity to do so, because Erebus just doesn't think we're going to get much. Erebus doesn't think we're going to get much at the bottom edge at the moment, guys. So when it sees a bottom edge, we need to make sure we book a bottom edge. And Erebus was right again. The price cannot find a seller at lower prices. Look, guys. Erebus was right again. Great question, Miguel, because obviously if the specs are nearly always right, I want to know when the specs have a higher probability of being wrong. And that started, that started the whole process on Erebus itself, looking at how the specs price the markets, look at how the specialists price the markets, look at all the various weaknesses that their narrative has to be in terms of how the order flow works. And you can see that the Erebus was 100. Look at how Erebus got that reversal trade at the lows here. See how Erebus got it, but the specs didn't, and the quality spread guys, they didn't get it right either. But Erebus got it spot on, didn't it? Absolutely spot on. Absolutely nailed that as a buy trade on a downtick into this half-back area. That's why we distributed so aggressively. Because if Erebus doesn't agree with it, what did I say to you? I don't agree with it. So whilst the specs might be very bearish, I don't care. I mean, it's Erebus is Erebus. It's the max headroom of trading. That's why we've got max, instead of max headroom, it's max profits. So Erebus's nickname is just max profits. So we've got a bit of a situation developing here. After Erebus had taken the market higher, thank you very much, we've obviously got a bit of a premium starting to develop up here, so we've got to be aware of that as a good selling opportunity. So if we get some weakness coming in on Erebus, we can start working that short trade against that print, can't we? Now, there might be some sort of a package, stimulus package getting touted through some systems here, so we've got to be aware of that. But I'm going to start scalping some top edges at higher prints and see if I can capture a little bit of an edge. Coming into the oil, guys, if anybody's trading oil. So turn our attention quickly to oil prices.